So, birds, what is happening with birds? What's happening with birds in Texas, Houston, Dallas? Thousands of birds invade gas station in Houston and the sky of Dallas within 2 days. What is happening? But I'm going to show you in just a few minutes that it is not just not these past 2 days, but this has happened very often in Texas, Brownsville, Houston, Dallas, over the years. Well, let's check out what happened. Look at this. Okay, clearly, something is up, right? You got car lights on, street lights on. You do have that canopy of manufactured clouds, but it does appear to be the time when you wouldn't see birds out. They would begin to nest for the evening, right? Yeah. Okay. Check this out. This is not normal bird behavior. Okay. No, it is not normal behavior. Here is Dallas.
Wow.
Wow is right.
What's really going on?
Looks as if these birds are agitated, disturbed, not sure where to go. Flying back and forth. So people have been saying that it's a sign of the end times, apocalypse, or that these birds are sending a message. They're communicating to us that something is going on because you know how animals respond to, let's say, earthquakes or tsunamis. They know it's coming before we do. Well, if it's a sign of the end times, it's really kind of surprising that, well, we have seen this in this particular area quite often.
What are they doing?
I don't know.
Oh man,
Maybe
they're going crazy. It's like a swarm. They're attacking.
Bolero in Brownsville, Texas, and there are almost 1 million birds just on the power lines. Do you all hear that noise? Those are all these birds. They're all along the power lines. It's hard to see them, but in the trees.
What are those birds? Look at all those birds, Jules. Look at all those birds. It is going crazy at Walmart. All these damn birds. What in the hell?
Never quite understood this, but these birds have invaded this parking lot. I mean, invaded. I don't understand it. It's the wildest thing I've ever seen. I have never seen anything like it. Look at that. Unbelievable.
Something set these geese off. Actually, all of the birds. In a split second, they all took off. They don't take off like this. This is not... See, they're here all winter long. I have been to this spot pretty much virtually every single day during the winter. I've watched them. They don't do this. And the only thing that I can think of are the frequencies, because where they were along the river. Somewhere up from where I was or down from where I was. But all of these birds also were set off. So I think it's the frequencies. I think because every afternoon something goes on here that you can see it in the sky, you can see the clouds breaking up, you can see a lot of things happening, and it has to do with the satellite engines, the transmitters, the frequencies set off the really long black carbon clouds, and they begin to open up and release the black carbon. And this, whatever it is, which I think it's a plasma or something, an artificial plasma, it started rippling. It was smooth, and it began rippling, so it's got to be the frequencies that are setting off these keys. They normally fly from different parts of the river late in the afternoon, but they all take off in different times. They do not take off all at once. You see the rippling? So whatever this looked like a thick mass of something. I don't know what the hell it was. But it was as smooth as what you're seeing now, only a few minutes before. See how it's rippling more and more? And plus the fact they don't fly all over the place. They fly with intention, going to a particular spot, and these guys were just, many of them were just flying around in circles. Well, anyway, it was just another day of no sun, even thicker plasmatic cover, I don't know. This kept getting more and more wrinkled as time went on. And you know, I don't know, you just, what do? You just, Well, this is me in 2018. What do? You just watch the clouds get sculpted by microwave frequencies. We have been living this for many, many years. All wildlife is getting drastically affected in a very damaging way by this technology. And it's unfortunate that there's not a lot of people who really care about what we are doing to all life. So, let me get into the studies. I'm going to try and read them fast. So, a study out of Boston University, the effects of microwave radiation on avian dominance behavior. They found that setting off microwave frequencies for white-throated sparrows, their wings spread and oriented perpendicular to the microwave field, and they observed stress-related behaviors, crouching, and a loss of muscular coordination, and gaping. You know what gaping is? Imagine a bird opening its mouth wide. They noticed that the gaping, it was a rapid onset to the microwave frequency. They also observed aggressive behavior. There was a level of aggression after exposure to microwave radiation. This is what we're doing to our birds, our wildlife, the effect of microwave radiation on birds. Another study that, well, you have to pay $199 to subscribe to Nature. But what did they find? Well, they found that microwave radiation, the inducing electrical currents on the activity of the nervous system of an animal, the microwave radiation pulse, it affected their nervous system. There is a patent. This is methods and apparatus for alerting and or repelling birds and other animals. External stimuli repels the animals from certain areas. What is that external stimuli? Pulsing microwaves, vibration or supersonic sound waves. The birds exhibited behavior that they defined as unpleasant. It was an unpleasant sensation. And they experienced a sensation of dizziness. This is very interesting. Too much mobile ringing will soon mean no birds no longer singing. Reports are flooding in from around the world about the lethal threat of mobile communications to birds. Birds are masters of orientation. They can pilot themselves home from hundreds of kilometers away. But this season, up to 50% of birds have lost their way on homing flight competitions. Carrier pigeons no longer able to find their way home. Birds, bats left their nests after new towers were installed nearby. Bird migration in Israel has been strongly disrupted. One particular year, they found that the large birds experienced disruption to their sense of orientation, and as they were migrating, they took a whole new route. Mobile communication interfered with the birds' programmed migration direction so severely that they took a completely different route. Doves no longer breeding. Alarm bells ring for sparrows in India. Electromagnetic radiation emitted from towers disturbs house sparrows and other small birds, damages the thin skull of chicks and the shells of eggs. Microwaves can interfere with the bird's sensory abilities and misguide them while they are navigating and preying. These are all studies right here that I'm reading. Changes in feathers, breeding, and flying behavior. Certain species of bird leave areas that are exposed to strong radiation from mobile communications and only return home after the radiation exposure disappears or is strongly reduced. But the radiation, they observe changes in feathering, which is the first sign of chronic stress. And they also observed changes in their breeding and flight behavior. Sparrows, formerly present in great numbers in London, are now at risk of extinction. And I know that study. I read it a couple of years ago. So that was a couple of years ago. I wonder how many sparrows are left in London now. And the effects appear to be highly dependent on dosage. So you get these birds in an awful lot of urban cities like Houston, like Dallas, where the concentration of microwave radiation, microwave frequencies, are dense and severe, an awful lot. Well, what you get is what you just saw. The birds, clearly their behavior, they exhibiting disturbance. They were disoriented. They didn't know where to fly. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know where to go. Migratory birds and magnetic fields, deadly interference. Internationally renowned biophysicist, he researching the effects of electromagnetic fields on living organisms, and that included bird migration. What he found was this communication technology, wireless communication technology, is having a very harmful effect on animal and man. But I found this very interesting. In the natural environment, there are oscillating electromagnetic fields of many orders of magnitude and with frequencies ranging over a virtually unlimited spectrum. And they manifest as a continuous and enormous noise. You know, as I'm reading this, think about the wonders, the incredible life. Life is so unbelievably, well, mysterious and just, it's, I don't use the word awesome very often, but that's the word that comes to mind. It is absolutely, unbelievably awesome. And when you just look at so many different species and how they have lived their lives in accordance with the natural electromagnetic fields. And as I'm reading this, think about what we now live. Nature has created senses that filter out very specific frequencies and intensities. These filtered frequencies identify a specific sphere of life for specific life forms. So when you think about dogs and their incredible hearing, or you think about how whales and dolphins and sharks and how they navigate, and humans, well, so many, there are very few who still have some kind of connection to nature. Most have just lost their senses. But the wildlife never lost their senses. And they still depend on those electromagnetic fields that come up naturally from Earth and other sources. Those natural frequencies are gone now. How are they navigating? How are they to learn, okay, now it looks like it's light out still with these LED lights? It confuses an awful lot of wildlife. And it's not okay. It's not fair that we have done this. Humans have always believed that they are just the greatest species. And unfortunately, we've proven time and time again that we are so low compared to other species. But just because we can, we dominate life. We don't respect it. Whatever we want to do, to hell with all of the species. That has always been something that has greatly upset me. But the sensory organs are organs functioning as frequency analyzers, information amplifiers. Eyes, ears, sense of smell, taste, sensitivity to touch, light, warmth, chemical, electrical, magnetic, and pain receptors. Uh, it's not just humans that have all of those senses. The living world perceives stimuli such as light, ultraviolet and infrared, sound, ultrasound and infrasound, electrical fields and currents, magnetic fields, and also smells and water currents. Snakes, for instance, can sense temperature vibrations of thousandths of a degree centigrade. That's how sensitive a snake is. Long-horned grasshoppers and cockroaches can register mechanical surface vibrations with amplitudes down to 1/25th of the diameter of a hydrogen atom. There are so many species out there that are so sensitive. And then the human brings upon its technology, screwing up other species' lives.